The wall. So my wall, it's called the Lexicon border, because I like puns. The idea of the wall started from a trip to Mexicali, right across the border. We went to go visit my tia Maria, who's passed away, my mom's sister. And when you drive back, you're gonna be sitting at the frontera, at the border for a long time. You're sitting there for hours. And so as I'm sitting there and I'm kind of staring kind of off into space for hours, and I see that, and I see the slats, and I was like, oh, you can just see through, right? It's not like a block, like, border. And you're seeing, and I started thinking about the terrain on the side that I'm on in Mexicali is the same terrain on the other side. It's like the same, right? It looks the same. And I was like, it's the same thing, you know? But then I start to think more kind of deeper of like what people in Mexico, when you see across the border, it's very different, you know. It's what are, you know, what opportunities are there? Like, this is me here, like, how can I go there? What, you know, so what are we seeing when we look across? So the grid and the way that I hang the papeles is based on how that wall looked in Mexicali, you know? Like, they're slats, and so they're hanging and there's space. I want to make sure when I do the paper cuts, I could see through. I want to see through to both sides, right? Number one. Number two, the words are facing both directions. So I grid them to face both directions. In the same way that, you know, I like to be mindful that if I'm going to say something in English, I want to say it in Spanish in certain situations, because my mom doesn't, you know, like when we're hanging out at home and we're just, you know, talking, my dad understands English. And when I'm with my siblings, my language with my siblings is English or Spanglish, more so with my sister. The brothers are more English. When my dad's involved, it's either or. It's English, Spanish, or Spanglish. And if my mom is involved, it's Spanish, you know? I hate the exclusion, you know, so I'm like, no, these are facing both directions. They're facing, you know, again, the binary, and like, I'm also a Gemini. I don't know if that counts, the binary. I'm very split. So the wall itself is composed of words that are part of my language, all of my language, coming from Nahuatl, which is Aztec language or a native dialect. So words like papalote, which is a kite, chocolate, escuincle, which is a little kid. You know, I have several words in there that are stemming from the Nahuatl, right? And then I have words that are Castilian Spanish that I learned in high school. Why did a bunch of Latino kids in LA learn Castilian Spanish in their high school? You know, that's what you learn, right? You take a Spanish class, you're gonna learn Castellano. So words like gafas instead of glasses, or césped instead of grass, you know? And I chose those, right? I wear glasses, or grass. My dad's a gardener, so the zacate. We say zacate, which actually I think is also more to the native words, but césped is the Castilian. So I included it, you know. I included that, the you know, words from Castellano. And then I included Mexican colloquialisms, so words that are like in Mexico, right? All the Latin countries, we all have our words that we use, but words that are specifically from Mexico that are, yeah, like órale, like, hey, órale, chido, that's cool, you know, está chido. Like words like that that are non-translatable, they're not connected to. I mean, and I apologize to anybody who's a linguist who's like, actually, that word is, I don't know, I didn't study too deeply at this point, but, you know, it's my overall connection to the words. So, chido, órale, stuff like that. Then, Anglicisms, which my language is also composed of, like anything that is an English word that is used. Shampoo, you know, shampoo. Baseball, you know, spelled different, Beisbol. You know, freeway, they use that too. Stuff like that, right? So those are okay, and that's like, I think, international. Everybody uses okay. So words like that, and then Spanglish. So that is more closely to what I speak. Like we speak Spanglish, and it depends on, there's code switching, right? So we code switch amongst all these, well, not amongst all of these specifically, but I code switch in my language to how I'm speaking to my parents, how I'm speaking to, an elder, how I'm speaking to my siblings, how I'm speaking to somebody, else that speaks Spanish, whether they're older or younger than me. My dad he always gets me. And my dad, it rubs him that I use Spanglish. So I try not to Spanglish. And it's not that he cares about the language, but or he cares that we use it, but he wants to make sure that we know our language and that I'm not using that word because I don't know the proper one, right? I cut it off at chores, shorts, and he's like, they're not chores, they're pantalones cortos. And I'm like, come on, dude, I'm not gonna call shorts pantalones cortos, which is short pants. Like, I'm not gonna do it. Nobody says that. I'm gonna say chores.